of week 6. I'll also be looking at week 7 for college football. So we start off on Thursday for those games. Okay. Right. Here's all the games right here. Good amount. Some teams will be on a bye week this week. So week 6, on Thursday, October 2nd, we have Sam Houston and New Mexico State. New Mexico State, they were a huge disappointment from this last season. I know they won 10 games the previous year. They also beat my favorite team, Auburn, War Eagle, and Sam Houston. They're pretty good. Carson said hello. Hey, you got the Matt B. Great profile picture. So that's pretty cool. I always love to watch his videos. There's over like 350,000 subscribers. One of his subscribers. So on Friday, we have West Virginia at BYU. I know that'll be a pretty good game. West Virginia, they're kind of a disappointment. They're like Virginia Tech. They really underwhelmed me this past year. Carson said, "Do you remember me?" Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, the Matt B. Great profile picture. And you're also, I believe, an Alabama fan. But BYU, they should be pretty good. This next year, we got Western Kentucky at Delaware. Delaware, they're new to the FBS in football. I know this will be the first year in the FBS, along with Missouri State, Western Kentucky. They've been a solid team the past few years, won like 8 or 9 games each season. After that, we have Charlotte at South Florida. South Florida, they're kind of disappointment. I know they stoked Bama like the first 3 quarters this year. I know they're only losing 21-16 at one point in the fourth quarter, but they end up losing by 20 points. I think it's 42-16, something like that. And we have Charlotte. I don't know. They have not been a good team the past few years. They're usually bad every year. Justin said hello. Hey, how you doing? We're live stream right now talking about some college football for week 6. Okay, here's the games now. We can go look at the games. There's FIU at UConn. UConn, they've been a solid team the past year. They won 9 games in football. Usually they're not that good. They're a basketball school, but they're good this past year. Okay, there's Kansas State at Baylor. Baylor, they're a pretty good team. They were this past year. They started 2-4, but they finished 8-5. They lost their last game to LSU in their bowl game. But Kansas State, they're also kind of disappointment. They won 8 or 9 games this past year. But I really enjoy watching Kansas State. They're a really fun team to watch. But the best one last year to watch was Miami. They're really good. And got Oklahoma State at Arizona. Arizona, they were a disappointment. Same for Oklahoma State. Arizona, the past year, they went 10-3. I know they won their bowl game, and they went 4-8 this past year. Oklahoma State, they started off 3-0. They finished 3-9, losing their last 9 games of the season, which Oklahoma State, the year before, they went to Big 12 championship, just to get crushed by Texas. After that, we have Texas Tech at Houston. Houston, they should be a solid team. They're getting Connor Weigman, a quarterback from Texas A&M, out of the transfer portal. And Texas Tech, they're a really good team this past year. They won 10 games, I think. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. Okay, scroll down. Okay, Colorado at TCU. Colorado, they were a great team. Well, I wouldn't say great. They're a really good team this past year. They got Coach Prime. He's coming back. He's on a 6-year, $54 million deal. And we got TCU, which TCU, they've been a center college football past few years, in 2022 season. They went to national championship 2023. They played Coach Prime in his first game in Colorado in 2024. They really won 9 games that year. And this year, they're playing Bill Belichick in North Kakalaki in their first game. Of interest, Will said hi. Hey, Elliot Trammell said War Eagle all the way to San Antonio. Yes. Adventures with Will said go Georgia. Okay, now see we got Army at UAB. Let's go UAB. Renner Lambert said my friend War Eagle. Yeah, War Eagle. Now let's see. Let's go down. Iowa State to Cincinnati. Cincinnati, they they wasn't great this past year. They won 5-7. They started off 5-2, but they finished 5-7. Lose their last 5 games. Very disappointing. Adventures with Will said Gonzaga 27-3 start. Yeah, they were destroying Georgia in the beginning. Miller says speak Persian, brother. No. I don't know how to speak Persian. Reynard said War Eagle. Yeah, War Eagle. Adventures with Will said go Auburn for March Madness champ. Yeah, War Eagle. Die Hard Auburn Fed said, yeah, I'm a big fan, bro. Oh, thank you. War Eagle. Okay, then let's go down for some more games. Right here. Wake Forest and Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, they're really disappointment. I had them win 9 or 10 games going into the season. They won only 6 or 7 games. Die Hard Auburn fan said War Eagle. Yes, War Eagle, brother. Then we got Wisconsin and Michigan. Wisconsin, they're also really disappointing. disappointing. There has been a lot of disappointing teams I've looked at so far. Adventures with Will said Wake, yes. And Wake Forest, they were also where I talked about. Or Wake Forest, yeah, I need to talk about them. I know they was not that good this past year, won like 4-8. The previous years, they won the ACC championship and like the 2021 season. Renner said it's hard to read all the chat messages. I don't think so. Adventures with Will said I'm editing new video for my channel. Adventures with Will said ACC is disappointing conference. Yeah, it really is. Only a few good teams in the ACC. Well, Wisconsin and Michigan. Michigan, they will be pretty good this next year. They won like 8-5 this past season. They finished off the season beating Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl, 19-13, and they also beat the national champs, Ohio State, 13-10 at Ohio State for the fourth straight year. Ohio State has not beat Michigan since 2019. Wisconsin, really a disappointment. Like I said earlier, let's go down. Oh, Boise State and Notre Dame. Boise State, they went to playoffs. Same for Notre Dame. They went to national championship just to lose about 10 points to the Ohio State. Okay, let's go down here. There's Illinois at Purdue. Purdue, they're not that good. They went 1-11 this past year. Got a new head coach. Adventures with Will said 16-0 start against Alabama. See, Adventures with Will said Notre Dame, Boise State will be crap. Okay. But Illinois, they should destroy Purdue. And Michigan State and Nebraska, that will be a pretty mid-average game. Michigan State, they wasn't that great this past year. Nebraska, I mean, they're Nebraska, okay? They win like 5 to 7 games each year. They'll never win another national championship in this century. Adventures with Will said Purdue wins in quadruple overtime. We'll see. We got Minnesota, the Ohio State. Ohio State will win. We got Penn State, UCLA. I could see that as a trap game. UCLA, they should be getting better this next year. They didn't start off great this past year, but they finished off pretty strong. Carson said Alabama will win the Natty this next season. Watch. Okay, we'll see. Adventures with Will said 50-49 last year against one win Purdue. Yeah. I don't know how it was that close. Then we got ULM at Northwestern. That's a weird game. Power 4 team versus a group of 5 team, which I went to ULM game last year in Auburn. Okay, then we got Washington at Maryland. That will be a pretty average game. Maryland, they're not that great. They've kind of fallen off this past year. You know, they win bowl games usually about every year. I know they beat Auburn in a Music City Bowl like 2 years ago, I think. 1 to 2 years in the 2023 season. We got Vanderbilt at Alabama. Man, Vanderbilt, they gave Bama PTSD when they beat them 40-35 in their own stadium. Yeah, Bama's defense was not that great that game. Same for Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt, they scored 5 more points, and that's what wins you some ball games. Renner said, LeBron. Let's see. Carson said, I'm being serious. Alabama has good quarterbacks. Said they do have Ty Simpson. Jalen Mildew is leaving. Ventures with Will said Auburn 6-6. Got a lot of comments. Read. Carson said Will. Then I'm not sure what that emoji is. Adventures with Will said Candy. Carson 6-6. Adventures with Will said Vandy. Him's World said hi. Hey, how you doing? Carson said really. Okay. Let's go down. We got some SEC games. That's what I've been waiting for. But first, we got to talk about Virginia at Louisville. Virginia, they start off 5-2. And Louisville, they're a really good team. They're getting Miller Moss from USC at quarterback. That'll be a really great addition for Louisville. Ventures will Wilson be right back. Okay. So then we got Texas and Florida. Texas, they destroyed Florida in Texas this past year. I know they won like 49-17 versus Florida, but they did not have DJ Lowry that game because he got injured versus Georgia. Then let's see, we got Kentucky at Georgia. Kentucky almost beat Georgia. Like, Kentucky's not that good this past year. They went 4-8 and almost beat a top-tier team that went to playoffs in Georgia. Let's see. Eventually, Will said Georgia is 11-1. Yeah, they're really good. See, Carson said Texas is out. Eventually, Will said lost to Alabama. Let's see, we got Mississippi State at Texas A&M. Mississippi State, they went 2-10 this past year. They could have been better. They had a few close games that they ended up losing. Like, they only lost 41-31 to Georgia. I mean, that's only a 10-point game at Georgia, and they almost beat Texas A&M. They lost 34-24. Hainsworth said, I feel bad for SMU. Oh, yeah, well, like, in basketball or, like, football? Yeah. It's team in football, but they got snubbed from basketball March Madness. By the way, I went to SMU Stadium earlier this past month. They got a decent stadium. It's not as good as TCU's. Let's see. We got Clemson, North Kakalaki. That'll be a great game. North Kakalaki. They should be better. They shouldn't go 6-7 this year. Connor said, "What's up, Brent? How you doing, Connor?" Hampshire Road said, "Football." Okay, just making sure. Carson said, "Hopefully Mississippi State can be bowl eligible again." Yeah, that's one of their worst seasons in years. They usually make bowl games each year. Like, I know at one point they made like 13 or 14 straight bowl games. Carson did good. How about you? I'm doing great. Talk about some college football. That's what I love to talk about. Okay, then we got Miami at Florida State. Florida State went terrible, 2-10. The previous year before, they went like 13-1. They lost to Georgia in their bowl game, which Georgia, they broke Florida State. They lost by 60 points in Miami. Got Syracuse at SMU. SMU, that'll be a pretty good game. Syracuse are losing Kyle McCord, quarterback, which used to transfer from the Ohio State. SMU, they should be solid. They made the playoffs this past year, only to get destroyed versus Penn State at Penn State, the playoffs. We got Boston College at Pitt. That'll be an average game. Duke at California. Duke, they could win. They could not win. Let's see. Cam the Man said, "Hey, remember me? You Auburn fan? War Eagle?" If you are an Auburn fan, I'm just making sure I have a lot of subscribers. Hampshire Road said, "What happened to Miami in football?" They're still really good. They have Carson Baker, quarterback, transfer from Georgia. Okay, we got Miami, Ohio, NIU. Okay. We still got another week to talk about in football. Like, we've been on here over 2 minutes. We have so many great games to talk about and go through. So here, we'll go through one more week. Then I guess I'll end the live stream. But we've had a great day on YouTube today. We have almost over 10,000 views. We had one video get 1,000 views in less than 10 minutes. And one video get like 4,000 views. Like, maybe less than an hour. It did really good. But last month, we did great on YouTube. We had 150,000 total views. It was a great month. My most viewed month all time. I could have done it without y'all, my viewers and subscribers. Okay. On Wednesday, here's the Wednesday games. We got Liberty, UTEP, then Missouri State, a new addition to FBS, and Middle Tennessee State. Thursday, Jacksonville State at Sam Houston. Shout out to Jacksonville State. I live like 2 hours from their campus. So we got Louisiana Tech at Kennesaw State, Southern Mississippi at Georgia Southern, then East Carolina at Tulane Friday. We got South Florida and North Texas. Let's see. Remind me later. Yeah. Okay. So North Texas, I actually went by their stadium. I didn't do a video on that, but I went by. I drove by. I went to Oklahoma, then went back into Texas last month. But North Texas, they have a unique stadium. They're the North Texas Mean Green, named after Joe Green. Okay. Then we got Washington State at Ole Miss. Oh, that's a weird game. Mid-season game. Let's see, a former Pac-12 team playing an SEC team, which Ole Miss on this poll, they have them at 25. Okay. Remind me later, computer. I don't want to hear about this. We got TCU at Kansas State. That'll be a great game. Two really good teams that won like 8 or 9 games this past year. Okay, then let's see. We got UCF and Cincinnati. That'll be an average game. Let's scroll down. Here's Iowa State at Colorado. Iowa State, they went to Big 12 championship. Colorado, they barely missed the Big 12 championship. They had a tiebreaker, left them out of the Big 12 championship. And then they played BYU, which also got left out of the Big 12 championship in their bowl game. And they lost like 36-14 to BYU in the Valero Alamo Bowl. Okay. Let's go down here. Do we find some Power 4 football games? We got Kansas, Texas Tech, Kansas. They start off the year bad. They lost so many close games. I feel so bad for Kansas fans. They start off 2-6. Then they won 3 straight games against 3 ranked teams. That's a historic moment for Kansas in football. But then they got destroyed versus Baylor in their last game. I believe it's like 45-17 at Baylor. Cam LeMay said, "Sports Katie, you're my inspiration because I do the same college basketball predictions and stuff as you. And I do recaps of each round, so I wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much. I need to make sure to subscribe to you." So, when I get off this live stream, I need to make sure to subscribe to you, Cam the Man. Thank you. See right here. That just means so much to me, Cam. I thank you again. It just means a lot. So we got Houston and Oklahoma State, two not that great teams. We have Indiana, Oregon. Indiana, they went to playoffs. They lost in Notre Dame in their final game, 27-17. Oregon, they got destroyed versus the Ohio State in their bowl game in the Rose Bowl. We got Arkansas, Tennessee. This past year, Tennessee, they played at Arkansas. They lost 19-14. They had a 14-3 lead, but Arkansas scored 16 straight points, and Tennessee lost, and Arkansas rushed the field on them. We got Iowa, Wisconsin, probably a low-scoring game. That's how it usually is for some Big Ten teams, like used to be the western side of the conference. Okay, I should say western division of the conference. Hampshire said Clemson only has 7 home games. I didn't know about that. Usually Auburn, they have 8 home games. We get it done pretty good on their schedule each year. Now, they're kind of to us about the home games, but 7's still a good amount. It's usually the average for some football teams. We got Ohio State at Illinois. That'll be a pretty good game. Nebraska at Maryland, Michigan at USC, Northwestern Penn State, Purdue at Minnesota, Rutgers at Washington, UCLA at Michigan State. That's a lot of Big Ten games right there. Kim the man said, "Are you mad that all the 1 seeds made the Final Four?" I mean, I'm not mad. They're all great teams like Auburn, Duke, Florida, and Houston. Will said, "Hi, I'm back. It's good to see you, but I would probably like maybe some 2, 3, 4 seeds to get a March Madness. But Florida, they'll probably win the Natty. Or great. I don't know why my computer keeps on showing me this. Okay, I'll try to hurry and end this live stream so I can fix this on my computer, whatever is going on. We got Oklahoma at Texas, which will be in Dallas. I went by the Cotton Bowl Stadium. Came the man said, your pick, Duke or Auburn? I want to pick Auburn so bad, but Duke, they didn't beat us. I think they'll do it again. Give me Duke. We got Georgia at Auburn. I know this last time Georgia played at Auburn almost won. We were up 10-0, but we found a way to lose to Georgia. We got BYU at Arizona. South Kakalaki, LSU. They have South Kakalaki, number 10 right there, which that is surprising. I know South Kakalaki, they should have been LSU, but the refs helped LSU. We've got Bama at Mizzou. That's how I should say it. Bama beat him 34-0 this past year because Brady Cook, he got injured, the quarterback for Mizzou, and he's leaving because he's a senior. Kim the man said Tennessee played so do. Yes, they did. Carson said Alabama and Missouri could be a trap game. Oh, it could be. Yeah, it could be. We got Florida, Texas A&M. That could be a trap game for Florida. Clemson at Boston College also could be a trap game. Let's see. We got Pitt at Florida State, Virginia Tech at Georgia Tech, Stanford at SMU, NC State and Notre Dame. These are a bunch of average games. I go right through them. We got Wake Forest at Oregon State, Arizona State at Utah. That could be a trap game because Arizona State, they're losing the Fountain, Cam Skattebo. Great running back. Should go in the first round of the NFL draft. I'm not joking, even though this is April Fool's Day. They got Miami, Ohio, Oregon. Or I should say Akron. I don't know why I said Oregon. I guess I'm thinking about Oregon because they lost to the Ohio State. But that'll be it for today's video. Make sure to subscribe to the Sports Kid. Also, Cam the man said, can you do a video where you predict the top 25 for college football playoff? I might do that in the next video. So I'll see y'all later. Peace.